Hello, everybody, and welcome to this next presentation that I call Sell, Don't Tell. That's the way it was taught to me, is to sell the product, don't tell them about the product. So selling versus telling, this actually can be quite confusing to many people. It was to me at first, took me a bit to understand the concept, but it combines parts of Principle 4, open-ended questions, and a new principle, Principle 12, of people will believe anything they say, but anything you say is suspect. They will believe themselves way before they're going to believe you. So to help you understand this concept, I'm going to define these two different terms for you. So first we have telling. Telling is to give an account or narrative of. In a narrative, only the narrator talks. It is similar to a lecture. I'm telling you all about the product and you're listening to me. Whereas to sell is to persuade or induce someone to buy something, okay? So in persuasion, you speak, but they also accept what you are saying. It is more of a discussion than a lecture. So what's the difference then? What makes the difference between these two? Well, let me give you an example of how these two are different. So if I was going to tell you about the product, okay, this new car has an amazing gas mileage, which means it could save you hundreds of dollars a month. I've just told you it. I told you that this car, it has amazing gas mileage, and that it could save you hundreds of dollars a month. Now, whether you believe me that it could save you hundreds of dollars a month, is up to your experiences. Now, let's look at selling it. This car has amazing gas mileage. How much do you spend on gas right now? What if you could cut that in half? You see, now, I say you could save hundreds of dollars. Well, what if they only spend $100 a month on gas? Then they really can't save hundreds of dollars a month. Whereas if I ask them, how much do you spend on gas right now? Oh, I spend $200 a month on gas. I drive a lot. Oh, what if you could cut that in half? Well, that would be really awesome. I mean, that would definitely be, that'd save me a lot of money. How much money would it save you? Well, we said I'd pay, $200 a month, so it'd save me $100. They just told me it would save them $100, and they believe that number because they told it to me. See, I didn't come up with some arbitrary number. They came up with something that was real to them. But if you notice, the way I got there was by using those open-ended questions. You see, when you tell them about the product, the customer has to trust your word, that you are telling them the truth. When the customer states something, they accept it as a fact because it fits their own experiences. I mean, if you tell someone about your product and they've experienced the same thing, it's easy. But if they've experienced something different, you're stuck. You can't get anywhere because now you have no common ground. But when they state it, they'll always believe it. So the job of a great salesman is not to tell an individual how a product could benefit them, but to get a customer to tell you how a product could benefit them. And this is because of Principle 12. People will believe anything they say, but anything you say is suspect. So in order for people to buy, you need to overcome their fears of losing money. I mean, when they buy something, they lose something. And in their ideas of what they should spend on, you've got to overcome those. They have an idea of what's worth spending and how much it would be worth to spend on that thing. And you've got to overcome those ideas and fears. Most try to downplay them. Oh, it's not that much money. Don't worry about it. Oh, you can handle that. Or rationalize away the fears. This doesn't work well because a person will generally believe themselves before they believe you. If they believe that is something to be worried about, they will be worried about it regardless of what you say. Now, some people will believe you, but not a lot. And definitely not those sales that an excellent salesman would be able to get. So if they aren't going to believe what you say, what do? If you can't tell them that this product is amazing and this is why, what do? Well, you get them to say why the product is amazing. This is where Principle 4 becomes really important. If you use your questions right, You get them to sell it to themselves. Okay, let's go back to the exercise you did previously on open-ended questions. Click on the link. It'll take you back to that same principle, same exercise. So let's use the first question as an example, the first one that we have on there. Do you have the money to buy my product? Simple yes or no. Now let's say your product costs $50 and is a new perfume that you're selling. You can ask, do you have $50? But that will just put them on the defensive. They're going to be like, whoa, you're asking about how much money I have? I'm not going to tell you about my bank account. But you could ask, how much money did you spend last year on perfume? See, now you get an idea of what they're used to spending, where they're comfortable. This will give you an idea of what they've already spent. And if they're spending more, well, then you know they have the money to buy your product. If they're spending less, then you need to build value in why they should spend more. But at least you know where you're starting from. So the point is that if you told them you can afford $50, all it's going to do is put them on defensive. Okay? A lot of times, even if they can't afford it, they don't like being told. If they tell you they are already spending $100 on their current product, then you know they can afford it and you don't need to worry about affordability. You can say, oh, I spent $100. Oh, this one, guess what? It's only $50. I mean, and then I can expand out from there. Be like, what do you think you could do with that extra $50? Then when they tell you that they can't afford it, you can remind them that they already told you that they can. So I love to use in this a statement of remember when. So once you get the customer to admit that they can't afford it, once they've admitted that the product is useful, once they've admitted that they would use it, not just that it is useful to somebody, but to me personally, I would use it. Then once you ask them to buy and they try to make an excuse of, no, I don't think I want it. You can just say, yeah, okay. But remember when you said that you'd use it? Well, yeah. And remember when you told me that you'd do this with it? Well, yeah. See, now you are in the place of power. They've already told you all the reasons why they should buy the product. They're just scared at this point. And so by reassuring them of what they've already said, them overcome that fear. So to do this, you combine, to do this, sell, don't tell, you combine principles 3, 6, and 12. As we said in principle 12, people will believe themselves first. Everything you say is suspect. So you get them to say it. Principle 6, people buy an emotion and they need a positive story. We're getting them to tell us their own story of why they should do it. So real success comes when you can get them to give you the positive story that will occur when they buy. And how do you do that? You use principle 4, open-ended questions. So tell me, I have told you a lot about this product. What do you think is the feature that could benefit your life the most? How would having this product change the way you play, work, or live? These questions get the customer to create their own positive story. And so then they can get emotionally excited about buying. Now it's not me trying to convince you to buy. You're convincing yourself to buy. And once the customer comes up with that positive story regarding your product, then the sale is almost a sure thing. Then it just comes down to, do they actually have the finances to do it?